everyone, and welcome to the first episode here on Imperfectly Perfect podcast. I'm your host, Andy Hernandez, and today's topic is going to be about self love. Now, I just want to mention right off the bat that I'm not a professional. I don't have a degree in any of this stuff. I'm not to say that, whatever I tell you or the things that I basically, you know, I, I'd say recommend doing, like the stuff that I'm saying. I don't expect you guys to just follow and oh, you know what I mean, follow through because this is the way to do it, and you know what I mean. This is the only way. No, I'm not gonna do that. Um, I'm just a 22-year-old guy that honestly just learned a couple things. I know through the worst ways possible, I think, but learned a couple things and just wants to give you guys hopefully a good tip or trick here to kind of you know try to see if it works or not. I don't know, but that's just what I'm aiming for. And like I said, I'm not a professional, so everything that I'm going to talk about, just go ahead and take whatever helps, please. By all means, please take whatever helps. But these are just a couple things that, like I said, not in order, but a couple things that, at least to me, that I was able to remember helped me in in terms of self love. And I hope and I pray that this may help you. And so yeah, let's get started. Number one is accepting who you are, and that's super important. Really listen. Accepting who you are, that doesn't just mean oh well, you know what I mean, I'm tall, I'm 5'6". Well, I'm just said that because I am. But you know what I mean, not oh, I have dark skin, like you know what I mean, I'm short, you know what I mean, I have a raspy voice, or you know what I mean, I have a gross laugh. I don't mean that literal accepting who you are. I mean really okay, if you have anger issues, if you have, if you're overly sensitive, and to some people apparently it's a problem, quote unquote, even though I don't think it is. um but you know what I mean, just those little things supposedly that either people have said or that you think about yourself. Mostly it's really try to base that off of what you think about yourself, really not what people think, first off. But anyways, sorry, excuse me. But what's it called, yeah, just that just means really like I said, if you have anger issues, or if you have real trouble expressing your emotions, you know what I mean, with people, just things that you just either don't like about yourself, that you wish you had, just everything, accept it, accept who you are. For me, for example, let me give you an example. For me, it's it's I have I get irritated easily sometimes, or if I'm placed in a stressful situation, and I know I can get out of it, but for some reason it just doesn't want to work out the way to get out of it, then I start to get irritated. You know what I mean? And it it, it sometimes, not to say it's a problem, but to some people, or some people have told me, or have you know talked to me about it, and they've told me that it's a slight little, I could work on it maybe a little more. And I've even noticed it myself. And when you can notice it yourself is when you really got to say, okay, well, people notice it, I notice it, maybe I should change it. You know what I mean? But like I said, for me it's anger issues, not anger issues. Well, not anger issues, but for me it's just that. So I got to say, okay, well, I know that I have that. I accept that I'm like that. And that I accept that sometimes in certain situations when I'm under a lot of stress, I tend to get like that. It's really saying, yeah, this is me. This is what happens sometimes, or you know what I mean? This is how I get. And then it's saying it's okay, accepting it, and saying, I can change, or I can do better, and I can be better. Excuse me. Jesus, I had a lot of pizza, and real quick not fun fact, but just real quick thing about me, I can't burp. Like for some reason I can't burp, and people say that's nah, you're lying to me. You're lying. You could burp. You just don't want to because you want to make that story up. Or people have told me so many things about the whole burping situation. Long story short, I just can't burp. I've tried. I've even watched videos of trying to figure out how to burp, and I can't. I just physically can't burp. So whenever I eat something, or whenever I have either greasy foods or things that really pick up gas, especially because I had a mineral water earlier, it just, oh my god, it builds up gas, and like I said, because I can't burp, it just like comes out like a sound. I don't even know what kind of sound it is. So if you guys keep hearing noises, I apologize. Like I'm so sorry. But okay, yeah. Getting back to the topic, yeah, eh, you just gotta be okay with it. Basically, you have to say, okay, these are all the things, or not to say that it's baggage, but these are just the things that I carry with me. That at the moment make me me. Like it doesn't define me though. You get me? Like it may be a couple of things that I could work on, a couple traits that I could work on, but it doesn't define me. And know that like there's possibility for change, but it's accepting it. Like narrowing down what those things are, and once you figured out what those things are, what you think is a problem, what could be fixed, and then you say, all right, I see it now, and I choose to work on it, and that's leading into number two. And like I said, it's not all in order. It's just in my head. This is the order it kind of went. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? Like, that's the process that I went through, which is kind of what I'm telling you guys, which is why I wrote it down like this, because it was the way I kind of had to do it. And like I said, there's many other different versions. There's videos that you can watch. There's things on YouTube. There's things that you can read, articles, everything. Like there's so much information out there that you can pick up on things or good habits and stuff like that you can do to like really change that mindset. But for me, this was my process, or this is the order I guess that I followed, and it helped me. And anyways, like I said, number two is to seek change. To change those bad habits, to substitute those bad habits for good ones. And to seek change doesn't mean as literal as it sounds either, as in like, oh, it kind of does. It kind of does. I'm sorry, I kind of lied. It does. Because seeking change means hobbies, like, okay, like, if you're just laying on the, if you're just laying down all day and you're just watching TV, like, watching TV, first off, like, I love watching TV. I'm a TV fanatic. I love television. I love TV shows. I love movies. I love everything. Anybody that knows anything about me knows that I can binge watch a show like that. Like I can watch a show. It's just I love TV. But there's a difference between loving TV and like like me, where I do sometimes binge watch a whole entire show, which I shouldn't really do all at once, but I just do. But either way, like you can't just say that's your hobby. You can't just say watching TV is your hobby. You can't just say that like the things that basically keep you in your house. Not to say like because painting, is a hobby, but like not I'm not aiming towards like that, because there's a lot of like arts types of stuff, like picking up an instrument, stuff like that. Like yeah, I understand that part. But if you're just physically laying on the couch or like laying on your bed, slightly angled watching television, or like slightly angled with your head watching television or something like that, and like occasionally you get up just to use the bathroom and stuff like that, then you should really really change your hobbies. And by my definition of changing my hobbies, besides the painting and doing all that stuff, because that's good for when you're in the house, but when you're out the house, that's what I'm saying. Like stuff that gets you active, stuff that gets you off your feet, stuff that gives us a little sun a little sun on our skin. And that could vary from a lot of different things, like camping. That could vary to you know what I mean, like hiking, running, going out to swim, you know what I mean, like picking up a new, what I mean, like a new sport, something. I don't know. To me, it's camping. That's why I said camping. That's the newest hobby that I've picked up, and fishing, which I suck at. I suck at fishing, but I picked it up. Okay, and that's the thing. You just got to do that. Change hobbies, goals, dreams, your passions. Change all of that if you need to. Because if it's not focused on the well-being of you, or if it's not focused on like things that really give you like happiness, then they should be changed. They should be they should just be taken out of your life, because things that don't help you just make you aim more towards success, or that don't help you just aim towards being a better person, or that don't let you aim towards just doing better and being better, then they should be tossed out of the window anyways. That's why I'm saying change the bad habits. And bad habits can mean a lot of different things. It can mean from being lazy all day 24/7, like from not doing that to doing things that get you off your feet, like getting dressed and all of that. You know what I mean? Little habits like that to even big ones, like how I said. Um, you know what I mean? Maybe having to change that real asshole of a friend that maybe loves to party, and yeah, you have a good time with when you're going out and when you're having fun. But when it comes to your feelings and stuff like that, they can give two shits about. Like if you got a friend like that, I'm sorry, but really see if that's a good enough friend to have for you. Because you know, I'm assuming you guys either are good people or trying to be good. I'm not saying everyone's perfect. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect either. I'm not saying I'm a good person, and what I mean. And I'm also not saying I'm a terrible person either. Like I'm a dick or asshole. I'm not. But you know what I mean. Like I'm trying to be a good person. I'm trying to be better all the time. Like if I get upset or if I do something that like upsets someone, like I don't just give them cold shoulder. They'll be like, oh well, that's what they deserved. That's what they deserved or something. Like no, I go up and I'm like, hey, listen, what I said was uncalled for, but like also you kind of hurt my feelings, you know. And I'll say sorry, but I'll also kind of say what I need to say in the most kindest way possible. And it's just about like those little things, like changing the bad habits, or like I said, you may have just bad influences around your life, and if you do, why keep them around? Like, okay, it's fun, like yeah, the hype and blah blah, but like, why? If they emotionally, and you know it, they emotionally drain you, why keep them around? Also, another thing seeking change is maybe not focusing on materialistic items, you know, because who doesn't love money? Don't get me wrong. Who doesn't love money? In today's society, money is essential. It's just that's the way it is. It's the truth. I can't deny that. Like in today's society, money is vital to surviving. Why? Because you need money to pay bills, to pay electricity if you're living in the city, or if you're living in a home, you need to pay for some of that stuff. You're not just gonna walk around free, excuse me. But maybe let's not just focus and think that money is the only thing that's gonna get you happiness, because it's not. Take out money out of the equation, and if you guys, not to say if you guys did your history, not to say that, because I'm not trying to think that I'm smarter than you guys in history. No, not that. But if you guys just look back at how life was back then, it was really simple. Like it was, and at least in my head right now, because I know you guys can't see me, but like in my head, I'm thinking like tribes like back then. You know what I mean? When like things were just tribes, and back then tribes used to hate each other. But like, let's say for example, if there's one tribe that lived on an island, and they had like, let's say for example, an endless supply of mangoes, and the other tribe on another island had like an endless supply of watermelons, and in both islands they had neither of what they had on their islands, and they really wanted it. There were times where two competing tribes would make peace for a second to just exchange those goods. You know what I mean? And we got to remember that before money, before like dollar bills were just made, I guess valuable in this world, really the value, and it's still the value today, is people. The value will always be people, and that's what we got to remember. And that's why, and also our own lives, value the value in ourselves, because yeah, like I said, money, like in today's society, is essential, but it's not the only thing that's going to make you happy, like I said. Because if you're, you can give, like, for example, if you give two people $1 million, one that is an asshole and one that's a good person, which one of the two do you think is going to really spend the money wisely or really use the money for good? Like the good person. You get me? And it's just like it's not about the money. You know what I mean? Like I don't even know if I'm starting to rant, but like, point is just focus on people, not materialistic possessions, or not Gucci bags, or what I mean, like the newest what, I don't really keep up with stuff, like the newest I don't know I don't know, the newest car, stuff like that. Like, don't get me wrong, it's all good and it's all nice, and if you can afford a new car, by all means, you know what I mean. But let's not just rub it in people's faces, or that, like, you know what I mean. Let's not just make it like kind of a dickish move to where we're like, oh, we'll see what I got, you know what I mean, and see what you don't have, type of stuff. Like, let's be humble about stuff. Let's learn to not just be a dick. And I know I kind of ranted on that part a little bit, but like I said, aside from the whole materialistic possessions, or like materialistic things, like I had repeated earlier, productive hobbies, the passions that you want to do, Because at the end of the day, you're the you're the you're the person that's gonna manage your own life. You're the one that's gonna point yourself towards the direction you want to head towards in the future. That's all up to you. As much as you can have people around you that can tell you, oh, do this, do that, do that. You know what I mean? I can recommend you to do this, do that. We all know at the end of the day, it's you. So really focus on your passions. Like if your passion is to help people, then go help people. Don't be shy to do it. If you know your passion is to sing, go out and sing. It may be nerve wracking, but go out and do it. If you know your passion is to, I don't know. I'm gonna think of the most randomest thing ever, but to help people push their groceries to their own car. I don't know. For some reason, I thought that. Then go ahead and do it. Like, what's the crime? If you're doing good deeds and it makes you feel, good. And I'm not saying like if things make you feel good, just go do them. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you're doing good deeds or if the things that you do are positive or influencing people in a positive way, then by all means keep doing it because it's only showing people positive stuff. It's only really in a way giving people that's it just shows that you know what I mean. You get what I mean. I'm not like I'm trying like I'm trying to explain the words that I'm trying to say, but I just don't know if I'm making sense. And it may be because I'm nervous. It may just be I don't know, but I hope you guys know what I'm trying to mean. And two last things that I want to say is to limit our social media usage. Because once again, in today's society, we abuse social media. Like and guilty as charged, like me. There have been multiple times where I'm just chilling. I'm just sitting down on the couch, and you know what I mean. Like I'll just whip out my phone, and I'll just swipe, swipe, swipe. Look at the apps for like 30 seconds each, and then just swipe out of all the apps, and then close my phone. And then like 2 minutes later, I open up my phone, do the same exact thing again, check for text message, blah blah blah, and then close it. Like no, if we're abusing our technology like that, like if we're abusing of our phones like that, like if we're only worrying about things that are getting notified on our phone, we really gotta check ourselves. Because I'm sorry, but as precious and as awesome and as unique and as like just so close we have to communication with people through our cell phones, it's it's damaging us, and you guys know it. Like social media, as much as and as awesome as it is, it's brutal. At least for me, growing up, it was brutal. Now I'm able to kind of not take people's shit, but back then, when I first got into it, damn, oh my god, at high school, oh my god, opened my world up to how real the world can get, and graduating even worse. But I'm all getting deep and far, but like the point is, just if we know we're constantly on our phone, if we can see on our little analytic things or whatever it's called, to see that we're like, oh my god, like 22 hours in today, like I've been on my phone, or like 20 hours, even 19, 18, like that's kind of a problem. Like let's really start to do, like I said, productive hobbies or things that just get you out of the house if need be, but things that just really get you off your phone. If you have to, download apps. There are apps that get you to kind of not be able to use your phone, and it actually shuts down your phone. I don't even know what they're called, but my sister had one. My sister had one or used one at one point, to where it was like a little plant, and like whenever she'd go on the app or whenever she'd set like a schedule, and so whenever it was that time, it would shut off her whole phone, and then she had to go to the app, and she had to keep it there, and she'd even have to take care of the plant. And if it died, like I don't even know how what happened, but like if it died, then she would fail. But like the point was, she had to be on that app the whole time. If she would go out or anything, it'd be like killing the plant technically. So she would set a schedule for how long or how many hours to not be on her phone, and she'd do that. And there's just so much. There's so much stuff to do. If you need to, shut off your phone. But point is, just balance it. Balance. There's so much beauty out in the world. There's so many things to do out in the world. Take a drive. Go out and explore the city. I live close by to LA, so going out and taking a drive to LA is it's honestly really sick sometimes. And I'm like a city, like not a city boy, but like I'm a kid that just stays in my city. Like I don't really explore too much, and like recently within the last 2 years, I've been exploring like so much of LA, and I didn't even know there was so much stuff here. It's crazy. It's insane what like just walking out of the door and saying, you know what, I'm just gonna close my eyes and pick, point on the map somewhere and then just go to there. Obviously around the city, I'm not just gonna take a road trip. If I can, obviously I would, but I can't. So But you know what I mean, kind of like be on the GPS and see, all right, I want to go around this city or near my area. Okay, cool, for sure. Or you know, if I want to take a drive, take a road trip or whatever. But still, point is just get out and do it. Trust me, it'll feel awesome. It'll feel awesome. It'll feel incredible. And I know I ranted a little bit on number 2, but number 3 is building confidence. And to me, this one took a little while because building confidence, I've heard so many different things, or I've listened to so many, or watched so many videos to where people say, oh, well, I've just heard so much stuff, like the fake it till you make it type of thing, the you know, like look yourself up in the mirror, look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself all that stuff. Like I've done so much stuff, you know, and all that stuff that to me it did help. That's why I gave those examples. Um, what's it called? I did multiple things. I didn't just do one thing. I didn't just try one thing out and just think, okay, like give it like a day and like it failed on me and just think, okay, well, this shit didn't work. I'm gonna, you know, that means I just give up. No, like let's remember that like we can't just, you know, life, you know, isn't just like, okay, well, um, if we complain about it or if we sit long enough, it's gonna come like it's gonna come to us or it's gonna come to us in a silver plate, a silver platter. Like no, it's not. That we gotta stop thinking that it's not. We kind of have to go out and do it. We have to still get out of our comfort zone and be able to make that stuff happen. And that means having to pick up our sleeves a little bit, and having to do a little bit of the work. But if it's for our own health and our own well-being, what's hesitating you? If you know you're feeling like crap, if you know you're feeling down and you don't want to feel that way, why keep putting things into your body, or why keep distracting yourself, or why keep, you know, avoiding the issue when you know it's the problem? Face it. Be confident in knowing that you're strong and knowing that you can push forward. Because believe it or not, we have a lot more strength than we think we do. Why? Because we're sitting here today. Because we're standing here. Because we're listening to, you know, to this. Ironically, you know what I mean? Like we're right here in this moment in time, and that's how you know that you have that strength, and that's the drive that you should continue to have. And when you get to your lowest point, remind yourself that, you know what, I've been strong up to this point. That just means I could keep fucking going. And I'm sorry for cursing a lot. I try not to curse. It's just like it's the truth, and you know it. You got this. You got this. And yeah, be confident. Do anything you can. Like I said, me, it was fake it till I make it at one point. Like I needed to do it because I just felt so low about myself, and not even like trying to feel confident or being confident would work. So I was just kind of like, you know what? All right, like I'm gonna just fake it till I make it. Let's see if that works. And you know what? I had to do different versions of fake it till I make it. It wasn't just saying like, okay, well, I believe that that I'm strong. No, it wasn't that. It was me having to look in the mirror, and that's why I used the mirror example too. I had to look in the mirror and tell myself, you know what? You're strong. You're tough. You know what I mean? And not just like that because like I'm a guy. No, I'm not saying that you're strong and you're tough. No, but like you have strength. You have drive. You have passion. You have heart. You're not a bad person. You're a good guy. You know? And to me, I'm the average looking. I'm an average looking person in my opinion. But you know what I mean? In those moments, I would tell myself, you know what? You're a stud, bro. Like, you know what I mean? You're attractive as hell. Any woman would be lucky to have you. And it is the truth. Any woman would be lucky to have me because I have a great personality. You know? Nobody can tell me nothing about that. Like, you know what I mean? My podcast, I can say that. Yeah, but I'm trying to be humble. I'm sorry, but like, you know what I mean? Like, point is, you know, like I feel confident in myself. You know what I mean? Like I feel good about myself is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? And nobody can take that away from me. That's what I mean. And you guys can get like that. Do whatever means necessary. But get yourself to feel okay with yourself. Get yourself to be able to look at you in the mirror and say, you know what? I like my smile. You know what? That little twirl at the end of my hair that I used to hate a lot, that's one of my best features. You know, anything, whatever it is, whatever it need be, just do it. And you got this. Just tell yourself words of encouragement. You know, speak it out into existence. You know, it's all in your mind. It's all a mental game. You know what I mean? It's all about beating your mind every day. If you know you struggle with, you know, having to deal with things that pop into your head, or like, you know, thoughts that run around in your head, like, then just give yourself words of encouragement. You know what I mean? Tell yourself that, you know, mentally that, you know what I mean, like you're tough, and because like I said, you know you are. And speak it out to existence. You know what I mean? Like I will be okay. I will not feel this way anymore. I will, you know, not ever have to go through these things again. I am learning from this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this doesn't define me. Like, things, say it, and declare it, and tell yourself that, and believe it, and believe me, trust. You'll start to know that and feel that too. You'll start to, and then that's where the real magic starts to happen. You get what I mean? Like, that's where stuff starts to feel like legit. And number 4 is, don't think that you can do it alone. Don't think don't think that. It's the worst possible thing. I'm sorry, but it is the worst possible thing that sometimes people believe that, okay, you know what I mean, like, whatever it is, but that it's my shit, it's my problem, I have to deal with it. Why put other people through it? And I mean, there's different versions. Like, there was me at one point that thought that too. You know what I mean? That's why I said it. But and there's very other, like I said, other factors that can apply to that. It's not just the only thing. But I'm saying, don't think that, you know what I mean? Like, don't think that you got to go through it alone, because you don't. And like I said, before money, before anything, that was like materialistic was brought in the world, all we had was people. All we had was each other all the time. And we thrived on that. Throughout all the BS, throughout all the battles, like I said, that the tribes would have, and blah, blah, blah. And I keep going to that because that's just, I love all that stuff, but it was about people. It was about us. And we got to remind ourselves that we have people in our lives that love us. We have people in our lives that want to hear if we're okay, that want to hear it. Believe it or not, you can think anything that you want, but if you have people if you have your family with you, and you have them, if you have people that ask you that question, are you all right? Don't just think it's a question, just because they have to ask it. No, they're really asking. They're really asking. And it's okay to tell them. It's okay to be open, and it's okay to just say, you know what, I'm not okay. I'm not. But you know what? Can I talk about it with you? And if you can trust them, then by all means do it. And if you're one of the people that doesn't have anybody, if you're like, hey Andy, you know what I mean? Like, that's cool, because there's some people that are like that and that have people, but I got nobody. Then I know, like, I don't mean to make it sound harsh or anything like that, but if that's the situation you're in, you know what I mean? And like I'm saying, you're focusing on accepting yourself, seeking change, building confidence, and you're trying to do all that stuff or other things, you know what I mean? If you're just basically striving to be better and do better and feel better, then it's time to just say, you know what? There are friends out there that can be my friend. There are people out there that can care for me like that. And I'm not saying go out and look for people. I'm not saying go out and, like, you know what I mean, just walk on the street and say, like, oh, hey, want to be my friend? No, I'm not saying that, like, because that's kind of what it sounds like. No, I'm saying, with the hobbies that you're doing, with the new things that you're picking up, you know what I mean? Like, let's say, for example, I'm going to use the example of camping, but let's say you want to get into camping, and you're like, I don't know how to meet other people that want to camp because I don't have anybody in my life that knows how to camp or anybody that wants to camp. But there are camping programs. There are things, or you know what I mean, like, well, yeah, programs that can do stuff for camping or for things in regards to camping or learning things about survival and blah blah. Like, you could do the research, but the point is, like, there are things like that. And what if you apply to that and you go to that and you take a class like that? There were other people like that are into the same exact thing that are in that class, meaning you can meet new people. It would just after have to take saying hi. But that's another different story, which is another topic for another day. But the point is, you basically just gotta get up and do it a little bit. It's scary, don't get me wrong, but like I said, you're strong. And like I said, you got a kick-ass personality. I don't know you, and you don't know too much about me right now, but like, I'm telling you, you have a kick-ass personality. And anybody would be lucky to be your friend. Anyone would be lucky to have you in their life and call them your friend. Or to call you their friend. Sorry, I had that flipped. But yeah, trust the process, and you'll be okay. Trust me. But anyways, it's like I said, it's not a crime to ask for help. Do it to anybody that you know supports you, anybody that you know is giving you the support that you need. Ask for help if you need to. If they love you, they'll be there, because that's really what it is. People that love you will always be there. The people that don't are always gonna bitch or are always gonna complain or are always gonna say things, are always gonna give an excuse not to be there for you. But anybody that cares, and if you say, let's say for example, I need space, I don't want to talk, and you can talk to them for like 2 weeks, even like a month, but they'll understand. And the minute that you text them and you say like, hey, can you talk, and they're ready and they're already texting you and they're like, hey, yeah man, for sure. Those are real friends. Those are people that love you. Those are people that care for you. And that could be family, that could be friends. Like, I'm blessed to say that I have both, you know? But it took me having to be able to extend my hand and ask for that to be able to happen, because it didn't just snap my fingers either, because nobody's going to know what's in your head besides you. And the only way that somebody's going to know it is by you having to speak out and say it. And it's scary, I know. But with your family, come on. They're your family. And if they love you, they'll listen. You get me? But get out there. Stand up. Don't think that you don't have a voice, because you do. And give your opinion. And not to say like give your opinion like, oh, just like legit give your opinion. But I mean like, say what you need to say. If you're going through something, say it. Don't stay quiet. Speak. And also knowing that being vulnerable isn't a sign of weakness. It isn't. And if anything, it only shows how strong you really are, and how more stronger you're becoming, because the fact that you're able to just extend out your hand to ask for help, that's hella strength right there. And you should be proud. You should be proud. Just know that no matter what, everyone needs help. And if you think that you can do it alone, don't be so stubborn or naive to think that. Understand that everybody needs help. And at one point, even though maybe you can handle a lot, and if you can handle everything, great, but that's overwhelming. And it's not a crime for the people that love you to extend the hand and say, hey, I need help. It's not a crime. And if anything, they'll be willing to do it because they want to. They want to, not because they think, oh, I'm obligated to. No, that's the difference. That's the real power of what love is. When someone loves you, someone cares for you, they'll do that. And number 5, last but not least, because I'm kind of running up on my time, or I kind of went over my time, because I'm trying to keep these episodes like at least at like 30 minutes or 30 minutes ish. But the last but not least is to have faith. And there's the one thing that I wanted to keep talking about the whole entire podcast, but I wanted to wait till the end. And I say faith because, and I kept this one at last because it really applies to everything. It really is first. But that's why I kept it at last, because it branches out to all of it and it ties it all together. Because at least in my head, and at least in my life, having God in my life and having Him centered helped tremendously. For example, for me, it was whenever I felt on my lowest moments, I would pray. I'd close my eyes, or like if I get anxiety, I'd close my eyes and I'd think, you know what? Like, oh my gosh, like, you know what? I'm going through something, and I close my eyes and I'd be like, God, like, listen, like, oh my gosh, like I'm going through something, and I need your help. I need your strength. I need your grace. I need your love. I need your peace. Please give that to me. I'm asking for it. I'm begging for it. It sounds corny. It sounds cheesy. I don't know. Like, whatever it is, like, my version of praying is like that. When I really needed God's help, I did it like that. Like, God, I'm broken. God, like, I'm feeling so stressed out. I'm feeling so overwhelmed with myself. Like, I don't know how to control my emotions, my thoughts, my anything right now. Please give me your grace. Give me your peace. I pray to Mary too. And I tell her, Mother Mary, you know what I mean? My mother. And I speak to them like that. My mother, who I love so much, who knows that I'm hurting, who knows her children knows that I'm struggling right now. Probably at not my lowest point, but having a tough time. Nurture your child. Nurture me. Take care of me. Clean, not to say like clean my wounds, but yeah, like, help me heal my wounds. Be there for me. Be the mother that I need right now. And as corny as it sounds, I talk to them like they're my parents. You know what I mean? And to me, that helps. I don't know how it is for you guys. I don't know how you guys pray. I don't know how you guys handle your business when it comes to that. But for me, that worked. And every time I would open my eyes, I'd feel better. And for some reason, I always felt like I got hugged by Him. You know what I mean? Because I have a weird connection with God. Like I said, that's for another episode. And that'd be really cool to talk about. But I always would feel like his love around me, and it'd feel incredible and it'd feel awesome, and it'd get me through my day and it'd get me through my through my weeks, through my months, through everything. It's been getting me through my life. I've had this on and off connection with God for so many years, but it wasn't until like 2 years ago, last year, not even that, like 2 3 years ago, that it really started to click for me, and it really started to become deep. And throughout this last year, it's been so much more strengthened. And it's like I said, I'm not a perfect person, and you know what I mean. Like, I still struggle, but my eyes are set and wanting to be good, and my eyes are set on wanting to help people, and my eyes are set on just wanting to do things the way God would have done, or the way God would have done, the way Jesus would have done. And like, I know I'm kind of like, like going bits and pieces off of a lot of stuff, but the point is, anytime I felt down, I prayed. Anytime I felt hurt, I prayed. Anytime I felt weak or vulnerable, I'd pray. And I'd say, God, I'm feeling this way. I'm feeling vulnerable. I'm feeling weak. I'm feeling completely fucking alone right now, even though my family is literally in the room with me talking about how I'm feeling. Give me strength. I need it. I need a ton of it right now. Whatever it is, but tell him. God will listen. You know what I mean? I speak to God like he's my best friend. Because he is. He really is. And even though to some people he's quote unquote not there, and like I said, there's a lot of facts and another podcast that I could talk about that explain to me that knows that he is. But for the people that quote unquote say that he's not and that think that I'm just talking to myself, well, thinking of that and believing in that, and knowing that in my head that, you know what I mean, there's someone there listening, helps a lot. And really, 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 like, just makes me know that I'm okay. And even though that may be, to some people, quote unquote, crazy, call me crazy. Call me fucking ballistic. I don't give a damn. But it makes me happy. And like I said, there's a lot of this is just sounding like well, religion's just about happiness and about no. There are a lot of things, a ton of things that pinpoint to it being legit. And like I said, for another podcast, that'd be really juicy and cool to talk about. But right now, I'm talking in basis of emotion, and for me, that was one of the mainest and biggest reasons as to why I considered to stay as a Catholic and considered to really figure out what it is about this religion that really just makes me stay. Because like I said, there's so many factors that play into this, so many factors in my personal life that fit into this, so much things that have happened in my life in regards with God that really get me to say I need to believe. I want to believe because the facts are there. It's happening. The miracles are happening. I can't not but deny it. So much crazy stuff has happened in my life, guys, like miracles. Not to say like big, like, oh my gosh, oh, like, you know what I mean? Now believe with me. And, I'm not saying that. I'm not talking like that to just say, oh, well, now believe me because, miracles happen to me. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying at random moments where I really didn't think a miracle was going to happen, something happened and I didn't really know how to explain it. And it's legit, like, the don't know how to explain, not the, well, I don't know what to say type of thing. No, it was the legit, like, what? The jaw dropper type of stuff. The stuff that you're like, no, Houdini, this is a trick somewhere. Like, this isn't real. This can't be happening type of stuff. That's what I'm talking about. And like I said, for another podcast, for another episode, because I made the time go by longer. But bro, yes, it's legit. It's real. And in the emotional aspect of it, that's what got me to stay too. Because in my lowest points, yeah, to some people he was an imaginary person. To some people he's non-existent. And like I said, the facts are there, but that's not the point that I'm trying to make. Well, the point is, when it came to those lowest points, every time I needed God, I felt him there. And for some people, it's not like that. For some people, they're like, Andy, well, I pray all the time, and I don't have that deep connection like you do, or like you quote unquote say you do. And every time I pray, he doesn't listen to me. He doesn't hear what I gotta say. He does. It's just we're so focused on wanting whatever it was that we prayed for to be what it was that we get, and we gotta understand that. And the thing when I said about earlier about life, I really meant in reference with God. Like, God doesn't work that way. He doesn't just, okay, well, I see that you're struggling, my child. I'm going to give you exactly what you want. because that, no, for one, like I said, it's not the way he works. And for two, what if he does give you that? What if what if he does give you that? Let's say he does it and he gives you that. What if you weren't ready to receive that? What if you weren't? And even though you say, I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready, you know and you believe in your heart that you were, but what if you really weren't? And you had to go through more bullshit, what you consider bullshit, to get that at the end? No, he doesn't work that way. God only wants the best for us. Only wants us to seek him. He doesn't go knocking, like he doesn't go opening in our door, coming into our house and being like, "Hey, I'm here." You know what I mean? Like, "I'm sorry, like now you got to deal with me." Like, no, he doesn't work that way. He knocks on our door, but that's it. He knocks and he waits. And it's a question about us opening it and letting him in to let the stuff happen. To let him do his work. But until then, it's not gonna work. And once you let him in the door, he's not just gonna, he's not just gonna start granting wishes. He's just not gonna do that. It's a question about us having to, because like I said, God gave us free will. God gave us the decision to make our own decisions. Open up the door. Let him in. You never know. Yeah, maybe when you pray, you think that he doesn't listen, but he does. He's he's been listening. He shows you what I call little miracles every day, every second. He shows them in the forms that only you will understand. Like for me, it's through people. It's through things that people do, that or just like I said, random stuff that only I could understand, like stuff that's Marvel related, that are just little random crap that happens. And I'm sorry for using the word crap. I'm not trying to describe what it was as crap, but like, dude, like he just knows me. He knows me. And when I'm having like a crap ass day, and I really need to smile, in some weird ironic form, he gets me to laugh. Whether it be through something that someone sends me, whether it be like, just a regular song that I ironically just start to listen to, or anything. But he shows you. He's not, like I said, God doesn't work where he's just gonna cast the light and shine it upon you and just be like, "My son, I'm here for you. Let me grant you your wish." No, he doesn't. But he shows us that he's there through little things in our day, and he shows that he's ready to listen to us. And I'll leave it at that. Like I said, another podcast for another day. Yeah, trust in him, and yeah, he'll move mountains. And I ranted and I kept going on, and I'll probably cut a couple of things out because I just want to shorten it a little bit more. So I'll just thank you guys for listening, and I appreciate it. And like I said, there are more podcasts and more episodes to come with way more things, but in this one, I wanted to focus on self-love. And if you're struggling with that, and if it's just something that you just, yeah, it's hard. Like, understand that you know shit's gonna happen, yeah, but that at the end of the day, you decide whether you want to stay feeling like that, or whether you decide that you don't want to and get up and do something about it. Because it's really it. It's a question about wanting to give up or keep trying. There's no middleman. We gotta stop thinking about a middleman, or thinking that there's something to keep us maybe in the middle to where we're able to do both. No, it's one or the other. Whether we choose to be productive, or we choose to be, healthy, or feel healthy, or mentally feel healthier and all that stuff, or whether to, when shit happens, to let it keep happening and to let it keep bringing us down. No, we're the makers of our own destiny. And like I said, we're not perfect people. We shouldn't try to be, but we should always continue to try to be ourselves. And through ourselves, through the person that we really are trying to be, that it be focused on being good, and then spreading that goodness to others, and creating a chain reaction, guys. Because if one of us does it, and another one, if we continue to just strive to be good, we can move mountains, and it's possible. And I have hope for that one day. I hope that it's gonna happen. But if until then, let's focus on ourselves, and let's focus on being the better versions of ourselves. And I'll leave it at that. Much love. I appreciate you guys really listening, and you know, Like I said, Friday, I really apologize for the fact that I didn't post it on Friday or Saturday. I know I said I would. It's just some stuff happened to where I got a little occupied. But the other episode will be posted on Friday for sure. But until then, or tomorrow, I'm going to edit it and hopefully drop it today or tomorrow, this episode. And like I said, I appreciate you guys taking the time and listening to me. God bless and much love. Thank you.